Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm not there to talk with you today in person, but I wanted to spend some time talking about what we just covered the last couple of weeks and what we're about to cover here in the weeks to come. In the first unit, we talked about what brings us together despite our differences. We read several pieces about that, and you guys have written some really good essays talking about times that you've seen people come together despite their differences, whether it was for some type of personal tragedy or for a family gathering. I've really appreciated reading those essays. I'm going to finish grading those this week, but so far everything looks pretty good. Up next, we're going to skip ahead to Unit 3 in the textbook, which begins on page 168. And the unit focuses on the bonds between us. And so our focal question for this unit is, how do we form and maintain our relationship with others? So the first thing I want to talk about is what does it mean to form something? And to form something means to create it from scratch. It's important to remember that our friendships and our relationships, whether they're ones that we choose for ourselves or our family relationships, or our work relationships or our school relationships, that those relationships come from somewhere, and there is sort of a moment where those relationships are created. The second word I want to draw your attention to is the word maintain. When we choose to be in a relationship with somebody, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship, or even just getting along with or not getting along with somebody that we're made to be with, we have to do some maintenance on that relationship. And to maintain something means to cause something to continue. So it's important to remember that we are intentional, whether we are in a relationship that is positive or negative, that we're intentional in our actions as we interact with that person, as we relate to that person. And then finally, the word I want to talk about is the idea of connection. And a connection just means a relationship. It can be any type of relationship. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to spend some time in our journal. So go ahead and get your journal out. Find a blank page, go ahead and put the date on there. And I want you guys to spend some time journaling on this prompt. How do we form and maintain our relationships with others? You can talk about one particular relationship in your life that you have. You can talk about a new friendship, or you can talk about just getting to know new people. But spend some time talking about how do we form and maintain our connections with others. Go ahead and pause the video and spend some time in your journal. So now we're going to move on to Unit 3 of your textbook. You can find the opener on pages 168 and 169 of your workbook, so go ahead and go there. In the textbook online, you can find that by clicking View Resources in Unit 3, and I'm going to go to the unit opener in the Student Edition. And before we get started, I want you guys to think about maintaining and forming relationships like you talked about in your journal, but check out this short video.
Did you know every animal yawns?
Really?
Yeah. Ugh. Did you know yawning is contagious?
Really?
Yeah, with humans anyway. Psychologists have actually studied it. They think maybe it's a way to sort of relax and chill together.
Hey, let's kick back and yawn together, bro. Friends that yawn together stay strong together.
It's a form of social bonding.
Oh, right. My dog and I chill out and yawn together all the time. I yawn, he yawns, we're tight.
Right. The dog-human bond. You know, baboons have contagious yawns too, but most other animals don't.
Look at that guy.
Look at that guy! Laughing's another thing that's contagious. It's super bonding.
The group that laughs together gets fast together.
That's weak, man.
The couple that cracks up stacks up. The family that giggles together.
No, you gotta stop.
Wiggle.
Stop.
But do you think it's really true about the bonding?
I don't know, but I mean, it makes sense.
So I know that's kind of a silly video, but I want you guys to think about that for a moment. What are some things that do happen with the people you're close together with? Have you ever yawned because somebody else yawned? Have you ever started laughing because somebody else was laughing? Spend another few minutes in your journal and write down things that people do together in light of what you've just seen in the video. Things like yawning and laughing. Spend a few minutes talking with people near you about what you just wrote down in your journal with regard to how you form and maintain your relationship with others. Pause the video and have your discussion. All right, so now we're going to look at the academic vocabulary we need for the rest of this unit. Just like last time, there's 5 words you can find at the top of page 169, and we're going to work together today to make some word webs. You can work with a partner on this, or you can work on your own. You'll need a dictionary, and your job is to look up the meanings to the words confer, emerge, generate, and trace, and to make a word network like the one showed on page 169 for each of the 4 words. Make sure that everybody has their own copy of the word networks, and be sure to record those in your journal. After you're through with that, your homework can be found in the Assignments tab. If you go to the Assignments tab, the first thing you'll find is Grammar Studio Verb Phrase. For some of you guys, it might be at the bottom. Click on the link to complete the assignment. That will walk you through how verb phrases are used and how to identify them. So just go through the practice sets in here, type your answers. Remember that you need to advance yourself through each of the practices in the set. There's no real way to turn in this assignment, so when you're finished, simply close out of the tab and move on. So to recap what we're going to do today, the first thing you need to do is you need to journal how do we form and maintain our connections with others. The second thing you need to do is a word network for each of the 4 remaining academic vocabulary terms on page 169. And finally, complete the verb phrase practice on EdLearning. Remember the website for that is ed.cusd20.com. Email me if you have questions. Thanks.